Is that us? Is that us? Is this live? Is this live? We do it live. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 521, recorded on March 27th, 2025. On this week's episode, we talk about everything about Nintendo Direct. Yes, we go. Jesse, you do it.
And that, my friends, is what happens when you give Tim off information about Metroid Prime 4. Nintendo, you are responsible for what you've created here. Just letting you know.
Aren't you glad I was muted for that one?
Yeah. I mean, I heard it over here.
I
heard you scream. Like
really
earlier
loud.
today when that information came out, I heard from the northern regions a shout for joy.
You saw,
and behold,
you saw Northern Lights with that noise of excitement. Yes.
Yep, absolutely. Well, what we're referring to obviously is the Nintendo Direct. But before we get there, this is episode 521 of Nintendo Dads. It is March 27th, 2025. We are 1 week away. 1 week away from finding out all the news that Nintendo is willing to give us about Nintendo Switch 2. And we've already found out some that they're trying to hide until next week. But we figured it out, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later on in the show. But before we do that, boys, how are we doing tonight? How are we? How are we feeling?
Sore as usual after having a gym this afternoon. It was
leg day?
Arms. So
who's your favorite character?
I don't I don't know.
I like Min Min personally.
Min Min, yeah, I was gonna say everybody loves Min Min.
It's been years since I've even thought about the game, but Twintel, I guess.
Yes, very good choice. Let's see what you did there.
It was arm day, and like my trainer says, I'm trying to remember to not give fist bumps and high fives after every set. When my client to my client when it's arm day, because it hurts just to raise your hand that high to give the high five.
I feel like I'm waking up every morning and I feel like I'm having arm day because I've got this weird like thing going on with my shoulder, and I wake up and for like the first 30 minutes I'm up, I can't raise my arm like above my shoulder blade, and then I take a shower and it kind of works. It
sounds like maybe a muscle thing going on.
It may be. And
hopefully you're not getting frozen shoulder like I do. It's a diabetic thing, so I hope you don't get that.
Oh, no. I think it's because I sleep on my left side, and I have like one arm like resting on me, and the other arm like I reach across the bed to like put on my wife's shoulder or side, just reminding me that she's still there and she hasn't left me yet and abandoned me. And
we have to check on our wives, just make sure they don't do that, right?
Yeah.
You didn't run away yet, did you?
Yep, true. Tim,
how are you doing, Marty? I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Listen, I'm great. We had what honestly I felt like. I would say I was excited about what we saw today.
Yes.
On Nintendo Direct, and
I didn't know what to expect.
Right. And
like what's happening here?
Hang on. Whoa. So I want to save that. But it's been a good day. I got to go to Nashville today, which is one of my favorite places in the world, except for the traffic. I came home and my wife had cooked delicious homemade hamburgers with bacon. It's good.
Yummy.
I've just had a delicious, crisp, cold Coke Zero. Things
nice.
are wild. We're wild. And for the first time in like 4 or 5 weeks, I don't have anything to do tomorrow. I don't have to be anywhere.
Nice.
I don't have to do anything. So it's just probably.
What you gonna play tomorrow?
Probably means that I'm going to play nothing because I'll get up in the morning and there'll be like 14 things that come up. But if not, we'll talk about what I'm going to be playing a little bit later.
Okay.
Because it's what I'll be playing tomorrow. But anyway, tell you what, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. As seems like this week and next week we're going to have a lot of news. And so let's just dive straight into it, shall we?
Yes, do it. Did you see I
And our
just invoked
news,
Justin there?
I saw it. I saw it. I like it. I heard it. The news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for as little as $1 a month, you can make a difference in the world by being a part of the greatest community on the internet. $1 gets you in the door, $5 and $10 and $30 tiers exist as well. But if you're a Amazon Prime subscription member, you also have a Twitch subscription each month. You just have to re-up it every month. We would love for you to toss that our way as well. And that gets you in the Discord as well. But Patreon and Twitch Prime subscribers also get a ad-free feed for the show. So the best part, you don't have to hear any of the annoying ads or anything like that. We want to say a huge shout out to our brand newest shiny minted friend of the show, Jacob Billichek or Bilchek. Maybe not Billichek. Maybe he's not related to that coach in the NFL, you know.
I was going to ask the same thing. Is it close
Yeah.
enough?
It's Bilchek. Jacob Bilchek. Thank you so much for becoming a patron of the show. We really appreciate all our patrons. If we had the time every week, we would read that list every week. But then probably people would be like, why are you reading all these random names? And then we would have to do another feed of the show, which is an ad-free, list-free version of the show. And we would have to do another tier on the Patreon for that. So I don't know. But anyway,
We can always do a recording. Somebody like, either Justin or one of us could do a recording and then we speed it up at the end, kind of like those legal things.
Jesse, Robo Jesse needs to get on that.
There we go. Robo Jesse does a sped up legal.
Robo Jesse, thanks to the patrons.
Yeah, thanks to the patrons and
Think
does
about
the
it.
ending.
I love it. Very good. Robo Jesse, he popped out of his charging closet for a brief moment there. So thanks you to all you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. Go join today. All right, let's talk Nintendo Direct. Guys, let's pour one out here. This could quite possibly be let's just say it is the last Switch One only Nintendo Direct.
And we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do, actually, because this is uncharted territory, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying that, I think from here on, anytime there's a Direct, there's going to be Switch 2 news. And so it's the last one that's only solely focused on Switch 1.
I get it. But what I'm saying is it's possible they still may keep Switch and Switch 2 Direct separate. Possibly.
That's true. They could.
I don't know. It's uncharted territory.
Well,
or it could just be like you said. It could be a combination of two, and then they'll say, Switch 2 only game, or Switch 1 and 2, or whatever.
Switch 2 exclusive, as we're learning it's being called.
Yes.
So lots to talk about here. Over 30 games, I believe, shown, or 30 games shown off during this Direct, which makes it one of the larger Nintendo Directs. It was very fast-paced, very snappy. Of course, no information about Switch 2 was shared because they're keeping their cards close to the chest for next week. At least we don't have to wait very long. But I thought what we would do is we would just talk about, hey, here are some things that stuck out to us that we really enjoyed about this Direct, games-wise first, before we move on to the second part. Because if you haven't seen this Direct yet and you're just waiting for us to give you the news about it, there was also a brand new feature for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 that was talked about, as well as a brand new app which is available right now. And we'll talk about that as well. So, guys, what about let's hit first. What are some games from this Direct that stood out for you?
They opened with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake. Was hoping for a release date. That didn't happen. But they did hint at a new character. I'm like, who is she?
Yeah, I saw that.
So does that mean we're going to be a party of 4, or is it still going to be a party of 3? We need to swap around? I don't know yet.
Or I wonder if it's like a separate quest line that's an addition. Because didn't they say something a while ago when they were talking about these games that there was going to be something new that was like a bridge or some kind of thing between the two, between 3 and 1 and 2?
Well,
Maybe I'm wrong.
they kind of did a little bit of that at the end of 3. I didn't, they like there was like you came across a town of a person trying to build a golem. And if you've played the first game, you know that the golem ended up destroying the town. But
Yeah. Okay.
and is the only thing left alive outside of other wild monsters. So, and then that they similar also at the end of Dragon Quest 11 hinted that, Erdrick is a title bestowed upon you, and you are now Erdrick, and then when you play through 1 and 2, you're playing as the descendants of Erdrick.
Oh. Okay.
Hundreds of years in the future. So
Gotcha.
that that's something that has been known since 3's original launch, but they kind of clarified it a little bit nicer with this remake.
Sure. Sure. I thought those games looked gorgeous. Pixel art is wonderful. The
Sure.
lighting effects are really cool. I still have Dragon Quest 3 HD on my Switch that I've never launched once. I
Me
really
too.
plan. I no, I plan to do that this
Shame on
summer. Like I
y'all.
want to. I know I need to get the. I want to get them because I want to play all through all of them. But
Yeah.
uh,
If I
I
remember
just
right,
got to find
1 is
some.
a relatively short game. Like I was able to play through the Super Nintendo remake of it with a fan translation in like 10 hours.
Oh,
So
cool.
2, I think, is a little bit longer, but basically the length of 1 and 2 together is about what 3 is. So
Oh,
don't,
that's not bad.
3 is the longest of the 3, but don't let the length of that discourage you about the other 2. They will be shorter.
Is it
Maybe I'll
true to
start that
play the
tomorrow.
third one first and then go back and play 1 and 2?
It doesn't hurt any. It spoils the big twist of the ending, of course, because that about which I already shared it 2 minutes ago, that you were Erdrick the whole time, but
Yeah.
when you were first playing Dragon Quest 3, you didn't know that.
Okay.
But yeah, but in the modern remakes, it's fine.
Yeah.
You're playing it in
Okay.
chronological order instead of the original release order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Well, Marty, I think you and I both got it as a gift, these games. That's probably why we didn't open it right away because we were playing other stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, but now it makes me want to get 1 and 2. So I have all 3 on my Switch.
Yeah, I'm gonna eventually get them when they come out. But
Yeah.
I may crack 3 open this weekend and take a stab at it. See what happens.
Nice.
Gaming Dad mentioned something interesting in chat. Did you notice that 90% of the games announced, not one of them is in the month of May? May has no games. So I wonder what.
Mm.
Hmm.
Bum bum
Mm.
bum. A lot of them are in July too, which is interesting.
Yeah, those all a
Jesse,
lot
any
of
other?
RPGs and like. So I've never heard of the Somnium Files. That the third game in the franchise is coming out July 25th. The first 2 games are on Switch and are on sale. The first one is $3.99. The second it's just called the Somnium Files. The second one is the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative for $8.99. I don't think I'll get those, but I found it interesting that it was even kind of a thing. That and the third of a franchise where the other 2 games are already on the Switch. I'm like, I've never heard of this before, but
Mhm.
some people, I'm sure it
That's
excited some
funny. You'd
people.
never heard of them before because I thought they came up before and I was wondering if you would like
If,
them.
we might have talked about them, but they went over my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and Raido Remastered is Shin Megami Tensei spin-off. It was a PS2 game, a Devil Summoner game. That's coming June 19th. Shadow Labyrinth, I'm curious about. That's
That is the
the
first one on my
Yes.
list
That's
the
the
that I
one
wrote
edgy
down.
the
that's one
edgy
of the first
Pac-Man
ones that.
game.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little cringy, right? Like, I mean, like it's like let's try to make Pac-Man as dark and evil as possible, but also at the same time, it looks incredibly cool. Like the
So Go ahead. Sorry.
being able to like be like, I guess, merge with Puck and like climb walls and stuff. I it's very intriguing. I would like to know more, but at
Right.
the same time, I don't want to know more because I want it to be. Since I'm interested in it, most games I'm interested in, I take as like I want this to be a surprise. All right.
So
Yeah.
I wrote it down because I was been interested both in when I first saw and heard about it, and then when I saw the Amazon Prime, I forget the show name, but they did a short movie about it, a short video episode of it
Yeah.
in that series of gaming shows, animes, and that was very interesting. But this game reminds me of what I'm actually playing right now and played before. Ender Lilies, and I'm playing Ender Magnolia right now. It has a mechanic where you are using in Magnolia, where you are using the powers of things that you like in Lilies it was ghosts. After you fought them and you got the ghost powers, and you can use them as your weapons essentially. And you do the same in Magnolia, but it's not necessarily ghosts. It's more machines, I guess, or cyber type things, cybernetic type things. But I just started playing, so I don't have quite the full details. But you're basically gaining the things that you destroy or fight against. You're gaining their powers, almost kind of like a Mega Man type thing, right, Marty? Where in Mega Man and you go fight the boss and you get their
Yeah.
powers and to be able to use it somewhere along else. But this is more of a Metroidvania type thing too. So, and that's what Shadow Labyrinth kind of reminded me of, is that Puckman or Pac-Man devours things and allows you to use the powers of the things you devour. So, is what I got out of it. And it's
Yeah.
possibly, they didn't quite call it out yet, and I haven't seen it anywhere yet that it could be a Metroidvania as well, but I don't, it's still,
It does look like a Metroidvania for sure. It's same
yeah.
vein as like Prince of Persia and
Yes.
things like that. So it
Yeah.
looked like
Especially
the same scale.
with the 2D aspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think that the combined form, the Gaia form was really cool.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, the being able to fight that way and then eat the carcass of
Right.
your opponents.
Yes.
I like
That is
like
dark, but still.
at one time it's like it's dark, it's new, it's weird, it's out there, like I like it. But at the same time I'm like, oh, is this like super edgy, cringy type edge, you know? I don't know. I'm gonna play it. I think I was very disappointed in the release date. I was like, oh, this is gonna be out today. And I was so excited and it popped up. It was like,
Right. I was
no.
hoping it would be too.
I really, really wanted this one to be, or July. It's actually July 18th. I wanted that one to be today. But
They
that's
actually,
definitely it's right up my alley. Like I'm gonna totally dive into that this summer.
I'm trying to find it because I remember stumbling upon it when I was looking at some lore for Ender Lilies and Magnolia, but they were calling it like a dark Metroidvania
Yeah.
or something to that effect, because it's quite a dark effect, a dark theme to it where you're dealing with ghosts or it's darker themes of the environment. So, and I can't think of the words right now, but yeah,
I'm really
I'm looking forward
interested
to
for
it.
how they make the tie back to Pac-Man, right? Like
Yeah,
obviously it's Puck-Man. I love that little tie-in, but how is this like I just feel like there's some moment in that game where it all kind of comes together
right.
and there's something they're not telling us, and that's what I'm really that's really the part that's sucking me in. I want that reveal. I want that Puck-Man lore.
Well, it's if you watch the Amazon Prime thing that I was talking about, it kind of gives an idea of what that is. So,
Yeah.
what the theme is behind
Yeah,
there,
that was
and it's
a
very
an
dark.
odd episode.
Yes.
Mm,
I remember being confused at the end of it.
yep. Okay. Jesse,
And
any other games stick out to you?
I'm not sure if I'll get them, but what really caught me off guard was Tamagotchi Plaza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was weird.
I remember having the Tamagotchi little egg things back in the late 90s when they were first launched.
Yeah.
Everyone had them. They were
Imagine
weird.
being that team who are like, oh, our Tamagotchi game is going to be featured in the new Nintendo Direct. And then they close it with Tomodachi Life.
Yeah. And now
Right.
that was the next thing I was going to mention is the Tamagotchi Life Living the Dream. I think both of those are 2026.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Tamagotchi is June. The other 2026 game was the Rhythm Heaven game.
Yeah. Yeah. I will talk about that. It's interesting to me that both of Nintendo's first party games that were shown off, well, besides Metroid, which we already knew that was coming, brand new first party games were all 2026. Nothing for the rest of 2025.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But I assume that that's going to be shown in 7 days.
And I've heard a lot of people in the Discord asked, what does Tamagotchi mean, or why is it called that? So I looked it up, and according to Bandai, it's a portmanteau combining two Japanese words, tamago, which means egg, and uochi, which means watch. So it's an egg watch.
Yep. And the game has nothing to do with watches or eggs.
No, but the original device did. It was a clock, and it was egg shaped.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you also looked up Tomodachi. What does that mean?
Yeah. Tomo means friend, and dachi is the suffix that makes it plural, so it means multiple friends.
Multiple friends.
More than one friend.
Multiple friend life.
Tomodachi Life, my daughter, when I mentioned it, when Jesse and I were talking in pre-show, she poked her head over and was like, I want that game. So
the not seeing this direct, well, I saw it when it aired, and I had to watch it without sound. And so I did not hear those characters speak until this evening. And that I lost it. That was, do you want to talk?
Oh yeah, with the giant one. Yeah.
Yes, I thought I cannot wait for this game. Right. But hey, can we let's pin that right there. I want to talk about this. Those are brand new Miis, right? That is not the figures from Nintendo Switch Sports. Those are new Miis. That gives me hope that maybe Miis are coming back, right?
Well, we still have Miis on our Switch. We can create a new Mii
but you
there.
don't do anything with them. They do nothing except drive a Mario Kart. That's it.
Or maybe play Smash.
That's right. Smash a Mario Kart, and then there were those abominations in Nintendo Switch Sports. Awful.
What's that other one? The Miitopia. You can play them in Miitopia.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right. You're in Miitopia. I would like a user interface use for Miis again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you can still make your icon. You can still make your icon.
Yeah, that's true. Perfection would be a blending of the Switch UI with the Wii UI, where you get like weather updates and news. I would love everybody votes. And it's
those things would be awesome.
Let's do it. Anyway, that's conjecture.
That should be optional though, for choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not forced.
Jesse, any other games that just grabbed you from this?
I think that sums up my list.
All right, Tim. I know. Look, save it for the end. All right, because we don't want you getting too excited.
Okay.
At the very beginning. So start low, and we'll go high key at the very end.
So the other thing that I thought was pretty cool was that we're getting the Patapon games 1 and 2. Yeah,
that was out of left field.
Yeah.
Now
it was like I remember seeing those on the Vita, and it was like I think I had them on the Vita, but I didn't play very much of them, and so I'm pretty excited about that because especially the video actually did a really good job, very brief in explaining how you play that game, and I was like, oh yeah, I'd play that.
Yeah,
So
did a
yeah,
really good job.
yeah.
I loved Patapon when it came out on PSP. I remember Greg Miller talking it up on Beyond,
Okay,
and it was one of the reasons I bought a PlayStation Portable back in the day. That Mega Man powered up. Yeah, that was it. The little
okay,
chibi version of Mega Man 1
yeah,
and several other games. Uh, Interesting enough, this game has been a PlayStation exclusive until now.
yeah.
Both games.
I thought it was
And
fantastic to see that.
originally published by Sony Computer Entertainment. So
Do you
it'll be
think this is the
interesting.
game? Do you think this is the game Jeff was talking about?
Maybe I
Yeah,
Do you
because
think enough people are talking about it?
both Sony franchises that was mentioned are being published by Bandai, uh, for the Switch.
Okay.
yeah. It's very interesting to me that Switch is getting all of these games from outside, from Sony and Microsoft now. But
Makes sense. There's
the
150 million of the devices out there.
sure, but and this is like kind of a like in the bag thing. Like I'm sure that it did not cost much to change the button icons for Patapon
Right.
and bring it over. But
No, that's
so
probably all part of the dev kit that
yeah,
just
if
handles a
you're
lot of
out
that for
there
you.
and you don't know what this game is, let's talk about it. So it is a rhythm based um like
Think Pikmin with
army
drums.
Pikmin with drums. That's a great way of putting it.
There
So
you
you
go.
are in charge of the Patapon, and they move and attack and defend and retreat by you placing different or inputting different patterns that are mapped to certain buttons. So there's one button that's Pata, there's one button that's Pawn, and then there's a Don and a Chaka. And you have to figure out the different things. So like doing Pata 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 Pawn makes them move forward. And Pata Pata Pawn Pata makes them attack. And so there's a constant like click track that's in the background and it kind of keeps you in rhythm. But there's a strategy to it as well because you have to like go forward and you have to like tear down buildings and attack giant enemies and take care of other tribes and so if you do like if you enter the sequence in rhythm with the track, they will go into what's called a fever state and like get really excited and that will increase their defense and their attack. And so if you can keep that, it's kind of like a balance between knowing when to attack, knowing when to be in rhythm, different things like that. I don't know, like I think these are up for pre-order right now. Maybe. I think it said pre-order later today.
I'll
Some of
check it.
them, some of them said, but I didn't see them show up, so I took that messaging away. But they could have come back.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm not seeing it
I
on the
would,
eShop yet.
yeah, I would very much not believe these will be very expensive at all. Like $10,
Yeah, yeah.
$15 a piece, unless uh
Well, they're sold. I
Patapon
think
1
they're
and 2 yeah, I was gonna say they're together in one package.
yeah. So I'm thinking probably 25 to 30.
30 $40. Yeah. I mean
Yeah.
it's just two games. I'm very excited about this. It's a unique aesthetic. It's a different game. I think you should try it. Like, hopefully, what I'd really love is for a game like this, it needs a demo. So maybe they'll do one.
Yeah. A lot of these I think
So,
would benefit from having a demo.
absolutely. Next, what about any more
Uh
games for you?
oh, geez, oh Pete's. I got a list of them.
I love it. We'll keep it
But
rolling.
Half the direct is in his list.
it, things that jump out to me, definitely I wrote down. I didn't write down everything, but definitely for me. Another thing that it caught my eye. I know not a lot of people probably they would have saw this and been like, oh, okay, yeah, that's whatever, moved on. For me, as I've talked about before, Tavern Talk is one of my favorite games from 2024, right? Is in my
Yeah,
top 10.
I figured you'd get a kick out of that one.
So Disney Villains Cursed Cafe is a play on Tavern Talk, essentially, but with Disney characters and the villains especially.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw that and as soon as they described what it was, I was like, I'm getting that because Tavern Talk was, I love that game. Um, and I picked it up and I actually did a first look. It's out there right now in case anybody wants to look at it because it came in today. It was a shadow drop. So, and it's $15 on the eShop. But when I saw that, I was like, yes. And this I think would be great for a demo too. But if they do a demo, I hope it's at least a demo that you can continue on rather than like it was for Tavern Talk. I
Yeah.
think the demo was you couldn't do anything with that.
I
So, but
would
yeah,
I would add on this too that this is also available on Steam if you have a
yeah,
Steam Deck, or it's same price. So if you
and more than likely
don't
they have a demo there.
if you don't, yeah, I was going to say that there could be a demo there more than
Yeah.
likely. So
Yep.
you may check that out there. But the only kind of downside to that game for me was no like dialogue. Like the dialogue is not, I mean, not spoken dialogue. There's no
Yeah.
voice actors or anything like
It is
that.
not fully voice acted, but there are parts that do like the first sentence or something is voice
Oh,
acted
okay.
and then the rest you
It's
read.
typical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Steam does not
It
have
looks
a
very
demo.
wordy. Oh, well, okay.
one of the things I'm curious about, and I'll have to do some research on it, because right now it just says developers Bloom Digital, and I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing else by Bloom Digital here. Like this is, and I know there's other games like this out there. So, but the Tavern Talk was the first one I did. So,
Right.
and I just love that this is villains, Disney villains too. So, Ursula want to be one of my favorites. So that stuck out to me, and then of course we finally got not only a date but a shadow drop of Rift of the Necrodancer. I also downloaded that one, but I didn't try that one yet because we've been waiting and waiting. That was supposed to drop last year, Rift of the Necrodancer,
Mm-hmm.
but we finally got that, which is pretty exciting. That's a rhythm game that scales to your abilities, which I thought was cool too, and has different ways to play the rhythm games. So looking forward to jumping into that one this weekend, hopefully.
Okay.
The other one that I was surprised about was High on Life coming to the Switch in May.
Yeah,
That
that one
Yeah.
one,
I thought of Justin when that game was
it,
shown.
that game is one I've been wanting to play, and actually, I think I own it on the PlayStation. Uh, either I bought it or we got it in PS Plus. But
Might have been a PS Plus game.
okay, yeah, I've been
It
wanting to
was.
play that game, and I know Hambo and Johnny has played it and just looked. I think I stepped in on a stream of his doing that game. It's hilarious. The characters are hilarious, and I hope it plays well on the Switch. Probably even better on the Switch too. And so I'm looking forward to jumping into that one now that it's on the Switch and being able to play it portably.
I'm going to make an observation here as you talk about that the footage they showed did not make it look like it ran very well on Switch.
It was very quick footage too, so
Yeah, and
maybe that's
the
why.
but what you could see of it looked a little blurry, muddy. But I mean, we come to expect that from shooters on the Switch like Doom and
I
others.
played Outer Worlds on the Switch, so I'm prepared to play muddy
Right.
looking game.
But I'm saying this because there's a point that I'm going to make
Okay.
in a minute. Okay, so
Yep.
give me my 1 point there. I don't
Yep.
think that it looked at. I mean, and I say that having seen it on the PS5 first.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It definitely did not look as good as it did there.
Correct. Yeah, those definitely gonna. That's why I'm saying I hope that being that we'll
I've
be able to
heard good
play it
things
on the
about it
Switch
though,
too.
and so I'm glad that Nintendo fans are getting a chance.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it is a passable version.
Yeah. And if we get any of these games like we think we're going to get them to be able to play on the Switch 2 with the potential of upres or being improved in the its resolution and while playing, then that'll be even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, quick hit on a couple other things. The moment uh Monument Valley 1 and 2 and then the third one coming.
Mhm.
I've played those games on my cell phone on and off throughout the lifetime of those games. And they're very good games that kind of, they're like maybe the next level up of playing like your Captain Toad type,
Very
puzzles.
Captain Toad. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that
I
stuck
thought
out to
this was a
me.
good get for Switch. I've kind of felt like it would, like I always was like, why is that not on my Switch? Why is that not on a game
Right.
console?
And same here. And I was glad it's finally coming. Um, Everybody Golf Hot Shots. I was pretty excited about seeing that, and I was excited because that the potential of Drew coming in and doing a monthly mayhem with another golf game.
Sure.
So I thought that was pretty
And
cool.
and that's the other Sony game I was referring to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought was pretty cool too. It's that, another Sony game there. I'll leave this other one because I'm sure you're going to talk about it, Marty. And then um, Tamagotchi Life, of course, stuck out to me and my
Hmm.
family. Well, we talked, like I mentioned earlier. So there's a couple others, but I'm thinking you might mention them, so I'll leave
Okay.
those to you.
You're not gonna go for the big one.
I'm waiting for us to talk about it.
Okay, so the ones that stuck out for me, I'll go the minor ones first. I want to see more about the eternal life of Goldman. That one looked really interesting to me as a platformer. The art style looked pretty cool, and I'm interested to figure out some more
That art
about
style
that.
looked nice.
Yeah, holiday 2025 doesn't really do anything for me as a release date. Like I get why developers do this, but I also like I'm just like give us a release date. Come on. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and with the new hardware coming out and new games coming out for it, it's going to get lost in the shuffle.
yeah, nebulous. Very excited about Gradius Origins,
Oh,
which
okay.
is also in the vein of like Castlevania Collection and
Yeah.
Contra Collection. Uh,
You're into
the
those shmups.
one, two, three, four, five, six shoot 'em ups that we already know about, which are Gradius Salamander Life Force, which is actually Gradius 2, kind of Salamander was. Gradius 2 and Gradius 3, and then Salamander 2. And then there's a brand new game in the series that's going to be included in this package, Salamander 3. All for $35.99 until launch, and then it goes up by $4 to $39.99. This comes out August 7th, which is I was thought that's kind of a weird release date. Like going, I mean,
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, and
Um,
all of those games also have different versions depending on their region too.
sure, yeah. There's like the Japanese old version and the Japanese new version, and
Yeah.
depending on what year they were released and different
Yes.
things. So I'm excited for this. Just I like these. The collections are always done well. The
Yes.
only thing that I wish that Konami would do with its collections is provide a rewind feature,
Mm,
and they don't do that. So, um, unfortunately, there's no rewind feature. But Gradius 3 is in here, and it's one of my favorite shoot 'em up games of all time. I used to love playing that one on Super Nintendo, so it's instant buy for
nice.
me. I also want to talk about Rhythm Heaven Groove.
Yep. That was on
I
my list too.
so can we talk about it? It's a 2026 game,
Yes.
but it looks done.
Oh,
Why
one,
is it? Why are
two
we waiting
songs,
until 2026?
maybe two songs are done, but there's probably work to be
No,
done.
they showed several things. They showed the guy jumping through the hoops with all his clones. They showed the guy smashing Coke cans with his hammer. They showed muscle guy bouncing a bouncy ball off his muscles. The Daikaruma dolls, like the whatever they're called, like tripping and falling over. They showed at least three or like five or six different scenes
Nintendo
to the
spreads out their
point that
games.
I get that, but like if this is a Nintendo Switch Direct and Nintendo like they've pretty much said, hey, by the way, besides Metroid Prime 4, there's no more support from us for Nintendo Switch 1
There is. They got these games coming out
this
in
year, this
2026.
year, this year. Hey,
Rhythm Heaven's coming out
it's
in
hey
2026.
guys, it's March 27th, and we're not putting out any more first party Nintendo Switch only games until next year. Bye.
because they have all
It's
their
just
partners coming out with games.
guys, it's just
No,
a
I
weird
get it.
strategy.
It is very
I just
weird.
thought it was a weird strategy. Why show off two games that are that far away when you've got a brand new system launch video next week? I mean, come on. Like it was just bizarre. I'm fine with the game. I can't wait for it.
Yeah,
I don't here's what I'm gonna say this. That is not a 59.99 game. It's not. It's a Mario and Donkey Kong 39.99, right?
that's great.
Most Rhythm Heavens have been cheaper, and I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah.
I think it's a great series. I am ecstatic that it's back,
Yes.
but I just wanted it sooner.
For
The
sure.
other game I want to talk about is Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
That's the other one.
Anytime Dotemu and Tribute come down the timeline and bless me with or bless us with another beat 'em up game with the
Yes.
same care and wonderfulness that they've done Streets of Rage 4 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, this looks incredible.
Yes.
I cannot wait to play this game. Holiday 2025 doesn't work for me, brother. That's another one. Just give me a release date.
Just drop it.
Just drop it. Notable that they showed, I believe, 6 or 7 heroes in the trailer. The website lists 15 individual heroes that you'll be able to play.
Nice.
The kind of the hook for this game, if you didn't see it, is that you're able to make a 2-hero team and swap between them at any time. So you have the potential of having like Spider-Man and Venom teamed up, or Nova and Captain America. If you had one guess as to who one of these other characters was going to be that hasn't not been revealed, who are you going with?
Blade.
Ooh, deep cut. Okay. Jesse, you got any guesses?
Probably maybe a Gambit. I think
Oh,
Tatum's
man,
getting
I'm about to go out there and make a name for myself.
Getting has been
Yeah, I
announced
like
for
that. I like that.
for the movie.
Here
So
was, yeah, here was mine. I was thinking we're going to see some form of representation from the Fantastic Four
Mm.
because they're going to want that movie synergy, right?
Yes. Yep.
probably
Because they're
Thing
really
or
banking on.
Torch.
Oh God, I would love Thing. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That him or I think Iron Man's a shoe in, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody loves Iron Man.
Yeah.
Everybody-
Gotta
They
have
do
Iron
now.
Man in there.
You can have the Cap and Iron Man team, which would just be great. I'm looking over our list of games here. We pretty much covered all the ones that I wrote down that like really stuck out to me. But I do want us to spend some time here talking about Metroid Prime 4.
Yes.
Y'all. Okay, so here's my observation, and I'm gonna drop this and then I'm gonna walk away. These are my two observations of this game. Two things that you cannot convince me are not true. All right, about Metroid Prime 4. And here they are. Number one, that footage was not from Switch 1. It was
Nope,
not.
it is. It is.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yes.
There's no
Yes.
way. And I know that I posted about this earlier and people were like doing the laughing emoji and they're like I'm an idiot. I'm not an idiot. And here's why. The particle effects, the lighting, this like the draw distance when they pulled back and showed stuff, that was not Switch 1. That was taken from a Switch 2. I'm sorry. You cannot convince me it was not. And people are like, retro doesn't miss. Retro does. They always squeeze things out. Yeah, that's fine. That the Switch cannot do some of that stuff. Not like that. And not have artifacting and all kinds of other stuff. I'm sorry. It's not. Here's the second thing. The reason that this game has taken so long to get to us, and you cannot convince me any otherwise than this, is that game is going to be playable with a Joy-Con in your left hand and the other Joy-Con as a mouse in your right hand. Those moments where the psychic powers were being used and it was like tracing lines and stuff, way too smooth to being a stick. I'm
we had
telling
motion
you,
controls on our Joy-Cons.
look, they didn't work.
They did. Now, well,
They didn't work.
wait. The Wii U or the Wii with the full motion controls and stuff like that. When we got the trilogy and the motion
Sure, that's the
controls in
Wii.
that, when we got the motion controls in
That's the Wii
that, worked
remote.
really well in
It
this
did,
game.
but it did.
And
Joy-Con
then,
don't do that. And so here's
well,
my
in
conspiracy
the
theory.
remaster version worked well too
Here
with
is
the
my
Joy Cons.
yes, it did. That's fine. Whatever. This is my conspiracy theory. It's mouse controls. And next week, when the Nintendo Switch 2 is revealed, it will be revealed that the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming with, you guessed it, a mouse pad. I'm serious. Nintendo Switch 2 branded mouse pad in the box.
That makes sense.
It has to be. Like, think about it. If you're going to show off the brand new feature of your brand new console that's like the gimmick, right? What better way to do it than with a shooter that is highly anticipated that everyone wants? And you don't even have to have the mouse pad. You can just sit down at the table and play it that way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the
So
mouse
if you play
technology
it,
these days, you don't need a mouse
you
pad
can
anymore.
play it in. The reason the mouse pad is going to be included is so that you can put it in your lap while you're playing. That's my thing. And I would think it would still work with the stick because you're going to want to play it in handheld. But come on, guys. Those are my two crazy conspiracy theories about Metroid Prime 4. But let me say this. Timothy, this game has been absolutely worth the wait. It looks
Yes.
unbelievable.
Yes.
I thought that like, how do you hype that game anymore without giving away the story? They just did it. It looks
Yeah.
unbelievable. I'm so excited for Metroid
Especially with the
Prime 4.
psychic abilities, that's pretty cool to see that
Yes.
that mechanic in there.
I'm really interested in how all that's going to integrate. So here's what I'm thinking. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to have to be some kind of something in this game. Why Samus does not have psychic powers in Metroid, the original, in Zero Mission. Because this is before that, right?
Yeah.
Timeline? Metroid
I
Prime
thought
series is
I
before
thought
the original Metroid.
No, it's between
no,
one
it's
Metroid.
between
It's
two and
between
three, I
Metroid.
think. Isn't it between two and three?
Now, yeah,
No,
now
no, because the
Metroid
Mother Brain is revealed in
timeline.
Metroid Prime 3. Because they've been using those organic brains to power like the starships and or do computing. And
Hmm.
that's the final boss. It's like a foreshadow of
Yeah.
Mother Brain.
Well, I always thought all the Prime games were between two other games. But while
It's
Tim's looking at that, I wanted to backtrack a
yeah.
little bit to the Marvel game. Uh, see, the Coffee Wolf Gamer and I think Ninfrendo tag teamed a partners a partner pair like Lockjaw and Cosmo.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It's
Between one
between
and
one and
two.
two.
Okay. Huh. So, okay. So again, here's my issue. Samus now has psychic powers, right? Where are they in Metroid 2? That's what they're going to have to resolve.
Oh, they always do at the end of the game.
Sure.
Just like they
Just
did with Dread.
her suit explodes, right? And you have to start all over.
No, not
But
even that. It was like just like they did in Dread.
But right, okay, but here's my point: is in the begin in up till now, those have been suit based powers.
Right.
Psychic powers are not suit based; they're mind based. So there's going to be some. I know there's going to be something. I'm
There's
anxious to see
definitely
what that
yeah.
is.
And there's definitely
Like,
gonna be something for the
but
story.
I really thought that they nailed the look. I need to hear more. I need to see more. I cannot wait for because I really think at this point, do you not feel like we're getting a full on Metroid Prime 4 direct at some point?
Oh, for sure.
Showcase.
I hope we
I
do. I hope
God,
we
I
do.
cannot wait. It looks
And
so good.
I mean, the whole trailer was awesome. And I'm disappointed probably just as much as anybody else that we didn't get an actual date yet. I was hoping at least to get that.
Sure, sure.
But obviously, something more is probably going to come out of next week for it. But
Yeah.
what really got me was the stinger at the end of the trailer
The
with her
alternate
coming
suit.
out of the safe with the red and black suit. Though red, look at me. Red and black is my favorite color, people.
It was purple too.
Yeah, with the purple lines, yeah, for sure. But that was just like, oh my gosh, I need an amiibo of that for sure. I hope they come out
Well,
with an amiibo of that.
I highly doubt you're getting an amiibo of it, but I'm willing to bet that for like Jax or whoever, Jax Pacific is handling the
Oh
toys
yeah,
right
the
now.
toys, yeah.
Because there's a silver Phazon suit, Metroid or Samus out right now.
Yes,
I hoped you had seen that. So
I did. I saw them.
s-
Yep.
I saw it at Walmart and I was like, oh, should I buy that for Tim? No, he's probably already got it. So yeah, no release date for this. I fully believe that next Wednesday, during the Switch 2 presentation, we will have a release date for Metroid Prime 4. I really do.
I think
I hope so.
that is a common expectation. Yes.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep. So, with that being said, and us talking about Switch 2, let's talk about the other parts of this direct, which were not a brand new game, but were game related. Number one, Nintendo just in the middle of the entire presentation says, hey, guess what? We're going to drop a brand new feature for Nintendo Switch and its UI and the way you can use your games with a virtual game card.
I love this.
Yes.
Yes.
So a brand new feature for Nintendo Switch. Let's explain virtual game card for those who may not have seen it or understand it. Basically, digital games that you purchase on Nintendo Switch can now be shared with one additional Switch. Digital games can also be shared with people in your family group. So, like, take for instance, I have my son, my daughter in our family group. Now, if one of them wanted to borrow one of my digital games, I could select. This is actually coming end of April. That there'll be an update that puts this. You can select the game to lend to them. It will build an ad hoc Wi-Fi network between the two, and it will give the game license basically to their Switch for 14 days. So then that game will be, I'm going to use air quotes for lack of a better way of doing this. It'll be returned to, you'll give them their game back. But save data won't be erased. So you can do this multiple times. Games also can be shared with people with a Nintendo Switch 2 system. So this will be available from launch from Nintendo Switch. You can also not just share the games, but you can transfer the game to a brand new system as well. And that will be its new permanent home until you change it again. Guys, couple observations here. Number one, this is how Nintendo has brought about us being able to get our digital libraries from Switch 1 to Switch 2 painlessly. Think about that.
I don't know if I want to do this for all 200 games. I hope they still give us an option of just transfer everything, but
maybe so.
We'll see.
I think it kind of makes me think that maybe the transfer won't be.
I understand
as bad
most
as it was
people don't
before.
have 200 games. They probably have 20 or 30 at most.
Same thing here. Number two, in the fine print for virtual game card on the Nintendo website, it now mentions specifically Nintendo. This is what they're calling them: Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 enhanced games, which is very interesting when you consider the rumors that have swirled around that there will either be new versions of Switch games or there will be patches to Switch games that will do something to make them better for Switch 2.
I think that was one of my predictions.
What do you guys think about this? I mean, this is very un-Nintendo. of them with their
Yeah,
games.
it does seem still a little bit of convolution, but because they basically still want to prevent piracy, but they want to be able to let people have their digital library and be more flexible with it. I think the solution they came up with is probably, I can't think of a better one. I think
Yeah.
that's a is a good solution. Yeah,
Yeah.
the if you're setting up, so if you're setting up your alternate switch to transfer to, they require ad hoc network connection at the time of setup, but once it's done, the lending process and the returning process can can just be done over Wi-Fi, so they don't have to be face to face. But
Actually, it said that it's the internet connection is only necessary during the transfer period.
right, that's what I took that as Wi-Fi internet, not ad
Oh,
hoc.
gotcha. Gotcha.
But if you're lending and returning content to people in your family group, well, at least the lending part has to be done through ad hoc communication, not just through Wi-Fi. So if you've got someone in your friend group in another state, you won't be able to lend them a game
Uh,
unless they come to visit.
so a common misconception that I've seen about this, and I think this comes out of the way that this part of the direct was presented visually, is there was a video of a Mario Wonder cartridge being put into a Switch, and then it popping up on the screen, and then a blue bar going across like it was downloading to the Switch.
Yeah,
What
that's
they're
what
not
Roger
allowed,
originally thought, and then he realized, no,
yeah.
that's not what this
So
is.
what this is not is saving a digital copy of your physical game cards to your Switch.
Right, that would be weird.
Yeah. Like you buy the physical copy and you get the digital copy as well. That is not what this is doing. This is digital games that you already have. And something else I wanted to mention too, and throw this out here, is that not once was any third party game shown or any indie game shown. It was only Nintendo first party games. So I'm wondering if they're going to restrict it to that or if it's going to be all digital games.
I I think it'll ultimately be most digital games. Things that like require an NSO membership to play, like your Tetris 99 and things like that.
Hmm.
I don't. I think those will not be eligible because you gotta have the account to play it anyway. If you have the account and with the access, you can just download it yourself at that point. I think there was there was a few little weird footnotes. I'm trying to find where they went, but I think that's the biggest restriction. See, compatible systems must be linked to a Nintendo account to use virtual game cards. Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 edition games can only be loaded on a Nintendo Switch 2, so that makes sense. To move virtual game cards between two systems, you must pair the systems via local wireless and an internet connection, but only when pairing the system for the first time. Up to 2K. Up to 2K. Yeah, it was. Where did I read that?
Hmm.
I'll still look for it while we continue talking, but
Okay. So I think this is going to be a good
okay,
thing.
here it is. Virtual game cards may not be available for demos and some Nintendo Switch Online member exclusive games. So, like I take that as the Mario 35, Tetris 99, Pac-Man
Gotcha.
99, things like that won't be eligible. And again, demos won't be eligible because it's a demo. You can download it yourself.
Yeah. And that would make sense, right?
Yeah, but
Um,
it sounds like most digital anything, most things. If you paid money on the eShop for it, I think it'll be eligible.
so this is good. I would say this from a parenting perspective. I think this is great for families who still have kids living at home,
Right.
right?
While we don't do it often, but sometimes Matthew will log into my account on his Switch to play a game that I own.
Sure.
When he
And they
does
don't have to
that,
do that anymore because
right?
we've kind of
But
had this ability up till now, but like having to have your account on another Switch,
yeah, but while
you
he's
don't have to do
playing,
that
I
anymore.
can't play my Switch. If I log into any game, not just the game that he's playing, but any game,
Oh
it'll kick him out.
gosh. Yeah.
So this will is now lets me send him a copy of the game for up to 2 weeks, and it won't break anything.
The problem with it is that like if my son moves out, then I can't do that anymore.
Well,
Even if he's
make
part of my family group.
make sure he visits every month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he's
Yeah,
within
sure.
range to visit, then it
That'll
still
be
works.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
you
I
still
know.
want to you don't want your kids to go away forever. You want them to visit.
Right. No, I know. I'm pointing at the obvious that like you can't do it just over Wi-Fi, right? It's not like you can't
Right.
like
Right.
say my son, I'm in Tennessee and he goes to New Mexico. He can't do it there unless he does it before he leaves and then he's got 2 weeks to play it. So,
Unless
Unless they're
you set him up as that second switch.
well, that's true. That's
yeah.
true.
Then I think
And
Very
there's
interesting.
that might
Go ahead.
work.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say just for a moment here that this family here in my house, this is exciting because I can't tell you how many times, especially Sammy, has asked to play a game that I downloaded,
Hmm.
and like, oh, I will, because either I would give him my Switch to play it on himself and just use a different account or whatever. But that's very rare because he's got his own Switch, and then so it would come in handy. This is going to come in handy to be able to say, yeah, sure, let me send it over to you for 14 days, and you can try it out and see if you like it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
I was super excited when I saw this.
I also think it's interesting, and I mean, we've speculated on when we think Switch 2 is going to come out, that this is dropping as a notable Switch 2 feature late April, right before May, right? And
Yeah.
again, Nintendo has no releases in
Yeah.
May. There's,
Yeah, I originally thought it was weird that they implement this at the end of the Switch 1 life cycle in year 9. But it also sounds like this is going to be out the gate in Switch 2. That same functionality will exist. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's awesome. Keep that rolling.
yep. So they implemented at the end of April for Switch 1, and then they roll out Switch 2 May 15th. And there you go. Now, and that's not, if you're listening, that's not the actual date. That's not been revealed yet. Lots of people think it might be May 15th, but there you go. I think
Let
this is
me
cool.
let me ask you guys this. With this, do you think there's going to be any other major updates we get for the Switch? Kind of like any kind of things to update to make it similar to Switch 2's OS?
No,
So no, you don't think there will be.
no. Like, if Switch 2 has additional themes, I don't think we're going to see them in Switch 1.
I,
If
this is
that's
what
where
this,
his question was
yeah,
going.
this is what this made me think about was that now I'm afraid that Switch 2's UI is exactly the same as Switch 1.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Because they very plainly showed that this is a new icon that will be added to the row at the bottom, right?
Yep.
So why have it in one place on one if you don't have it the same place on the other? I don't want the same user
Well,
interface for Switch 2, but
hopefully
I'll
we'll find
take
out
it if
next
that's what
week.
it is. Sure. You're probably not, because remember, Nintendo told us everything about Nintendo Switch before it came out, except the UI, and that had to be leaked by someone who
Right.
got the system early, and it's like Nintendo was all upset. It's like, guys, people care about that stuff now. Like
Yeah.
that's a thing that people want to see. Like they want the whole experience. So hopefully they've learned from that.
Episode says just keep buying physical. I'm like, well, we get free codes, so and some
Lots
games
of
are digital
games that
only.
we play don't come out physical. That's just the reality of it. Anyway,
Before you move
let's
on,
talk.
hold on. Sorry,
No,
you keep trying
okay,
to move, so it's like,
yeah,
hold on. Let me talk some more about this. But I wanted to point out something that I thought was interesting that is in our questions. It's more of a comment from
okay.
Just Being Bruce. He said something about being kind of funny. I hope you're doing well because I'm okay. I have a comment about the new Nintendo blockchain. I don't know how they did it, but they snuck it in.
Huh.
Speaking of the virtual carts, he's thinking they're using blockchain for that. What do you
What
think,
do you
Jesse?
think? Are they?
No, I think I'm sure the permission system is a little bit more simplified than that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if it was using something like that.
It's just Pikmin carrying the data between two systems. It's
Carrying, no, they're
Pikmin.
throwing it. They're throwing it over to
Yeah, it's
yours.
it's it's Pikmin chain. It's
Hey,
not
there you go.
blockchain.
Yep.
The only blockchain in Nintendo there is a chain chomp attached to a block.
Yeah.
Roof, roof, roof.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Are we
And
good? Are we?
Michael Burgett says, "How do you think the virtual game card will play into Nintendo Switch 2?" And I think that kind of answers that. We kind of answered that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Cool. Okay. Well, Nintendo
One more
also. I'm
thing.
gonna one more thing, and can I just say before we talk about this that when they ended the direct and they said we have a special announcement that's basically not game related, and it cut to Miyamoto, my stomach turned. Can I
Oh,
just be honest about that? Like I got the worst feeling when that happened. I was like, this dude is about to announce his retirement.
oh, is that what you were going? That didn't even
Yeah.
cross my mind. But the way he was started talking, it sounded like they might uh, put an end to the directs.
So,
That's what I was
okay,
worried about.
put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. Okay, because I think that's an important thought. So, if you haven't watched this yet, Miyamoto pops up and he thanks people for supporting Nintendo and talks about like how they've been delivering
Yeah.
news via
And,
the
and
direct for a
and I
long
think most
time.
people are thinking it's going to be a movie announcement at this.
Yes, because I mean, it even looks like when he's been on there, like, he has this
Yeah, because
different
he's done this
background and
before.
everything. And then he announces, so I'm like, he's about to say, I'm retiring from active game development, whatever. And then he announces a brand new mobile app for all smartphones called Nintendo Today, which is a service to deliver news and information directly to us. It is a brand new app that's available right now that contains a calendar and some neat videos and some motion graphics and different things like this. And he even said that after April 2nd, that information about the Nintendo Switch 2 will be shared via the Nintendo Today app. All news going forward will be shared that way. We've downloaded this, and my Nintendo account is not required to use it, or is required to use it, but Nintendo Switch Online is not. Here's my Nintendo conspiracy theory about Nintendo Today. Directs are done.
He did say that they're going to continue, but they
I
may
mean, but
change
I
the
think they're
pace
gonna
of them.
I think they're gonna be less frequent, and
That's
I think they're going to deliver the news direct to you on your smart device. And you know why I think they're going to do that? Because you can control notifications, and you can get a notification on your device that says like I get a new video from Nintendo is available, Nintendo Direct, or what
mhm.
and they don't have to depend on X, and they don't have to depend on Facebook or YouTube. This is their channel. This is their way to get it to people.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I would say that we go from multiple directs a year to, as Winnie the Pooh would say, a smattering of news all months of the year. Like you might get this way they can do a video or some kind of announcement for, say, Metroid Prime 4. It's a 5-minute story story update trailer, new feature trailer. And they wrap it up in this really, I mean, I don't know if anybody's listening has played with this super slick presentation. The homepage opens March 27th. I picked Mario Luigi comes running out, jumping across some blocks. There's a calendar there. My calendar shows today the Nintendo Direct that happened at 9 a.m. and then at let's see, this is 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central. All the games for Nintendo Switch Online that released today: Nobunaga's Ambition, Lord of Darkness, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4,
They've
and
already
Uncharted
they
Waters.
updated it for tonight, huh?
Yeah, there are. It's already in there.
That
So,
wasn't
and
there
then
when
if
that wasn't there when I looked earlier.
well, you have to enable some of those things. Like if you go to your settings, you
Uh,
can enable what's on your calendar. And then if you go to the calendar and like I turn forward to April, it's already showing me because I picked Animal Crossing as one of my favorite games. It's showing me that all day on the 1st of April will be seasonal materials, cherry blossom petals will be
I
available.
guess I need to go through my settings and turn some of this stuff on.
Yeah. So you can look at ongoing events here. Young Spring Bamboo will be available, and also Icon Element Event Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition missions and
Oh
rewards. So it
wow.
shows all of that. It's a really cool thing. You can even add notifications to your phone. And then if you scroll down on the front page, this I've got the Nintendo Directs on there. There's a guide to the world of Super Mario Brothers, a short movie about Meet Elephant Mario, name that copy ability from Kirby, a Legend of the Zelda orchestral concert that you can watch a video of the Tears of the Kingdom main theme. You can learn about Link. So it's just pretty cool. And on iPhone, you can set up widgets where you have a calendar on your home screen that shows you all of these calendar events as well in
Android
the
as
theme
well.
of your choice.
Yep.
What?
Android as
As
well.
well. Sorry. Yeah. I wasn't trying to slide Android. I just wasn't familiar with widgets on that operating system.
Yep.
Y'all
No
probably
problem.
had them, but you definitely had them before us.
Right. So I turned on the Nintendo Switch Online updates, and now it did update the calendar, and then including like even previous days. So it shows Xenoblade Chronicles X released on the
Oh,
20th.
cool. I
Uh,
didn't go
there,
back and look at that.
there was something on the 19th about Xenoblade. There's Donkey Kong and
Yep.
Mario Picross on the 6th.
Cool.
Nintendo Music new tracks added on the 3rd. So all that stuff's getting
Oh, so
added
it'll
into the
show that.
calendar.
Look at that corporate synergy.
That's
Monthly missions
that's actually kind of
enabled.
impressive.
Yeah, so I look, I think this is a really cool app. I think it's probably one of the best ones they've put out. And it's free. You don't have to pay for it. I see this being the way that they do a large amount of their news going forward because this has taken some effort. Like this is, it's pretty slick.
Oh yeah.
And they're gonna use this. This is how they control information about Switch 2 moving forward.
For us, for people like us who want that
Yeah.
information for
All
sure.
right. So this
Oh,
I
100%.
I found this interesting. Normally, when you download a new iPhone app, they try to enable notifications by default, and you have to shut it
Yep.
off if you don't want it. This
Right.
one is
Didn't have
off
it
by
on.
default. You need to turn it
Yeah.
on
Yep.
if you want them.
You had to go. So to do that, what you're going to want to do is download the app and go to the little person in the bottom bar. And there's a thing that will come up that says notifications, and you'll go in there and be able to change those. But also, you definitely want to check the calendar tab under the settings as well, because there's some things you'll have to turn on there. In-game events,
Yeah.
other
And
events,
if you don't
recommended
play
events.
and if you don't play a particular game, then you can just keep those off. Like
Yep.
right now, I'm not enabling any of them.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
I'm sure as games come out on Switch 2, they'll
It also talks
all
about
want them on.
here release and distribution date will show up on the calendar, including demos. So if a game has a demo coming out, it'll show up on there as well. So it's super useful.
And then the bottom option is hidden events. There are no hidden events.
I don't know what that means. I guess you can hide some events. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway, you can
or
go and
maybe.
download Nintendo Today, which is the actual name of the app. Nintendo Today. It's on the Android or Google Play Store, sorry, and the iOS App Store now for free. as long as
Oh,
you're a Nintendo Switch member.
and so, when you go to the Nintendo store, if you check in with your
Hmm.
Nintendo account, you can get things or discounts or whatever.
Yeah,
You can pull up that QR code to get access your account from this app as well.
very cool.
I
Very
just
cool.
Yep.
found it.
And I'm sorry, I want to backtrack. You don't have to be a Nintendo Switch Online member. You do have to have a Nintendo account, and a Nintendo account is free.
Yes.
So there you go. Anything else about the app, guys?
I think you covered it very well.
Cool.
It's very
Well,
cool.
yeah, it's good. You should go check it out. It's one of their better interfaces. Looks great.
I
A
will
couple
say,
of
I will say one thing that when you get to
yeah.
pick the theme, I was kind of disappointed I couldn't pick Metroid. I can pick it as a favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't pick it as the design.
Tim. There's a Metroid theme coming. I promise.
I know it's coming.
It's coming. It's
Should have
coming.
been here day one though. No.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I like again. There's Splatoon. They're forcing it down our throat. I don't. Anyway, a couple of release updates. I want to mention a couple of out nows. Actually, three from the direct today. If you don't count the app, that's out now as well. But Tim already mentioned Disney Villains Curse Cafe. That's out right now, and a first look is available on our YouTube channel if you're interested in that. Also, Rift of the Necro Dancer is out right now, and I believe it's on sale for a few weeks because of its release. And then Saga Frontier 2 Remastered was also revealed in the direct today and is available now as well. So, guys, what we're trying to say is don't forget to check out YouTube, Nintendo Dads over there. We have a ton of first looks on a lot of latest releases. And so if you're wondering about a game, head over to our YouTube channel. Chances are we have done a first look or a let's play for it. And we would love for you to make an informed decision before you spend your hard-earned dollars or, well, you can't spend the gold coins anymore, can you?
Well,
You
you can
can't do that.
spend them, you just can't earn any new
You can't
ones.
get them. You can't get them. So you could spend them. So if you've got some left,
That's how I got Disney Villains.
yeah,
I
smoke
bought it
them
with
while
my
you got 'em,
coins.
boys. Right? So let's talk about what we've been playing, shall we? Yeah, so we've been skipping this for a little bit simply because the show has either had guests or had a ton of news. And this is a great time this week for us to be able to jump in and talk about what we've been playing. And so, Tim, you have quite a list. And so I'm going to start with you this week. What have you been playing
I actually
since
removed
last
quite a
time?
few.
I know.
I removed
I
quite a
know.
few because of we weren't able to talk about it, but I figured I wouldn't talk about those. I didn't play very long. Wouldn't I didn't play them very long, so I figured I wouldn't talk about it.
Sure.
But I'll start with the play date. I went to play Mega Dystopia Micro Architect because DatFast from the Retro Logic side suggested it. Said, "Hey, I thought of you, Tim, when I saw this," and it's because it's a city builder. You can actually play a city builder on the play date, and it's almost like you do runs. So it's almost like a roguelite in a way, but you get through it. It's very, very easy right now, it is at least, but you gain more abilities as you do each run. You get more things you can build as you do each run. And then you get more money to get more land, and then every time you do a run, your cities can get built bigger and bigger. So right now I thought it was pretty very easy to pick up. It's very, just one little square, 2.5 isometric view. Very SimCity esque kind of feel
Hmm.
to it in a way too. Again, Mega Dystopia Micro Architect I thought was really cool, and I would love to see this come to the Switch too. Switch as well. Excuse me. Gotta be careful when you say Switch too. But
As
Switch as
well.
well.
Which also,
Switch also. But I think right now it's a perfect game on the play date that I like. I have it right next to my chair, or I took it with me actually to an appointment because it was a nice, easy thing to throw in my pocket and be able to play. And I've heard some people say, I think I was listening to Carpool Gaming, one of their shows. It might have been the PlayStation one, and I think they were talking about missing having a dedicated handheld. You know, not necessarily your hybrid like the Switch, but a dedicated handheld that you can just throw in your pocket and, you know, be able to whip out and play a game on whenever you want. So the play date is, even though there's no backlight on it, like the good old days of the Game Boy, it's still a nice little fun little device to have on hand. So again, that was Mega Dystopia Micro Architect that I played.
Cool.
The other game I played, as I mentioned earlier, is Ender Magnolia. It is not necessarily a direct sequel to Ender Lilies, but it is in the same universe. I won't say anything more to spoil anything, but it is using kind of like the same mechanics, but instead of, as I mentioned earlier, Ender Lilies, you go through a map and you are battling Ghost, and the boss Ghost you fight, you gain their abilities and are able to continue further in the game. Ender Magnolia is kind of based the same. Actually, I should say the full name. Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist is the title of the game. In this game, you are going through and getting machines essentially and beating them and getting their power to be able to move further down in the game. You can't enter certain areas unless you get that ability to be able to knock down a wall or something or a door. So it's definitely Metroidvania. And as I mentioned, I think they call it a dark Metroidvania because of the themes of it are very dark. Not necessarily Castlevania dark, but kind of maybe Edgar Allan Poe dark type of thing, you know, in a way. Or like this one is more machines, so it's kind of like the gothic machine type feel to it, more gothic in both the games. So, but I really enjoyed Lilies. I didn't beat it, but I got close to it. I don't know why I didn't finish it. Probably something came up. But Ender Magnolia is really good, and I'm hoping to be able to finish that as well. And it is a Metroidvania type game. The other one I mentioned we have video on is Disney Villains Cursed Cafe. I did a quick 15-20 minutes of it. And it is exactly what I thought it was. It is a tavern talk type game, and probably what's the other big one that came out where unfortunately the guy who made it passed away? Coffee Talk? I think it was Coffee Talk.
That's right.
I think there's a Coffee Talk 1 and 2, and I think it's kind of similar to that where you're catering to people who come to the counter and it's a visual novel. But the reason why I like Tavern Talk, and I'm not sure if there's another game similar to it, but the reason why I like Tavern Talk is because the drinks you provide to your patrons help them on their adventures and stories. The same thing happens as far as I can tell, and the way I read the description and understood the video, and what I got out of it so far is in the Disney Villains Cursed Cafe, you are also giving them special potion drinks. You're a potionista, and you have to create
Not
special
like that
potions
word.
to help them be able to solve their puzzles and their storylines, and they come back and tell you how it goes. And that's kind of the same like with Tavern Talk. So I really like Tavern Talk. That was on my top, list of 2024 games. I really hope this is going to be, just as good and even better because of the Disney characters, villains that you get to interact with. And it has some of my favorites like Ursula and Maleficent. Those are some of my favorite villains. And of course, some of the other ones that are good too. So but they're all set up in a modern world. So they all have like I think Cruella de Vil is trying to get high likes on her social media account or something like that. And you gotta help her with that or something like that.
Well, I
So
mean, it's technically not a very PC or however you want to say it to uh, steal puppies to kill them to make a coat. Like
right,
that's
yeah.
not going to be in a video game. It's like I need to buy this energy. I need you to make me this energy drink so I have the energy to go murder 101 puppies to make myself a
Right.
coat.
So yeah, I'm excited about being able to play that more. And then I also downloaded the, Necromancer game. So hopefully be able to play that this weekend. But those are the games I've been playing. Go ahead,
Cool,
Jesse.
Jesse. Let's go.
All right, so I think it was over I think it was Saturday afternoon, or sometime this afternoon. I mean, this weekend, I did about a 30-minute stream of Breakout Beyond. It's a game with Breakout with the Atari license. The It basically is the game that was going to be released on Amico, and then wasn't. So it was then just released everywhere else. The the game has 72 stages, of which the first four are available, and everything else is locked until you can open them. I was able to beat the first two stages. I could not beat the third. I could not beat the fourth. So I have unlocked 0 stages, and I lost my patience with it just all in that half hour. So
That's unfortunate.
if you like Breakout like games, you might like this. If you don't, this is not going to change your mind. It is just Breakout. Then this came out last week. Picross S, Doraemon, and F Characters Edition. So I started grinding through some of those puzzles the other day when I had some downtime. The previous Picross game from the Pixel Cross series I abandoned because that was horrible. That was a horrible experience. I talked about that last time I talked about games. But this is Jupiter Picross, so it if you like those, you'll like this one. I don't know all the characters, and but I don't care about the characters. I just want the puzzles. I do have a few more games. Like I picked up the Suikoden 1 and 2. Uh, I heard that they are not very long games, like 20 hours or so each. So I figured that one might make a good airplane game for me for next week. So I got that on deck.
Nice.
Party.
Good deal. For those of you who don't know, Doraemon is a robotic cat who travels back in time from the 22nd century to aid a preteen boy. And that
As you
cat
do.
also does not
Yeah,
that cat
as you do.
also does not have ears. So
They evolved.
yeah, he has a helicopter blade that comes out of his head,
They really
presumably
evolved.
for killing children after he's done with helping them.
So Inspector
I don't
Gadget
know.
meets a cat.
Yeah,
Yep.
but Doraemon. Do, 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 do. Anyway, I used to love Inspector Gadget as a kid. So I've been playing two games basically. Actually three. I'll mention Pixel Lines 2 sucked me back in again, and I'm playing through the story of it. I realized I had not completed a lot of the story because some of those puzzles get really by the third stage, I guess, or the third book. Some of the puzzles get really large, and it takes
Yeah,
multiple hours to finish them.
I remember playing some puzzles for at least an hour.
Yeah, so the last one I did was 80 by 100. And so it was like the final puzzle of book three, which was a big dragon, fire breathing dragon, which was really cool. Once I got it done, but anyway, so I've just been playing that to relax because I haven't had much game time. The other games I've been playing are WWE 2K25 came out, and I went ahead and bought that and upgraded. I was very hesitant to get it at first because I don't watch a whole lot of WWE anymore. I follow it mainly on social media just to kind of be aware of what's happening. But It got really good reviews all the way across the board from lots of different review sites, and I had some buddies who were playing it, and I wanted to jump in, and it's been fantastic. The uh, I haven't played a ton of it, like I haven't really even explored the roster. Mainly, what I've been doing is playing the showcase mode, which is Bloodline themed. Which, if you're not familiar with WWE, the Bloodline is a faction or group within WWE and the storyline that is basically comprised of the Anoa'i family, who is The Rock, Roman Reigns, like more popular. A lot of your more popular wrestlers have been a part of this family or have married into the family.
Like Rikishi's in there too, right? Yeah.
Rikishi, Yokozuna,
Yeah.
and what's really cool about this is so it's like from the early '90s coming up this way toward our modern era. All these matches that have been kind of like showcase matches for the family part members. And the really cool two really cool things I think it's doing. Number one is there are some alternate history matches where it's like the Anoa'i family or the bloodline members lost in this match, but you can change history. And so before each match, there's this video that kind of recaps like who the person is that you're playing as, what their career has been like. Paul Heyman does an incredible job of narrating these. And then you get to play, and then some of them are actual, literally fantasy matches because members of the family have passed away, sadly. And it's like what if matches. Like, what if the like Roman Reigns' brother was in WWE? His name was, they called him Jamal at the time, and Rosie, who went on to become Umaga, who's also passed away now. So they were a tag team called 3 Minute Warning. What if 3 Minute Warning wrestled this other team? And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. The visuals and everything are spot on. I have yet to dive any into creation or the My Rise or storyline, but I'm going to. I'm excited. And hey, this November there will be another Nintendo Dad's mascot battle royale as part of
Nice.
the invitational, as part of the Extra Life festivities. This year, you're going to be able to vote on all 30 participants that will be a part of that battle royale.
Nice.
Mascots from all over, famous people. You can even vote for the dads. I'll have created us by then. We can be in there too. It should be a lot of fun. But it took everything that was good about 2K24 and turned it up, and so no complaints. The other game I've been playing, and we'll have a first look video out for this tomorrow that I've still got to do, is for a game that's out now or out tomorrow. No, it came out today on Nintendo Switch called Bubble Ghost Remake. And this is a remake of a very obscure Game Boy game from back in the day called Bubble Ghost, where you played as a ghost blowing a bubble through a castle full of traps. And when I saw there was going to be a remake of this game, I jumped at it because as a child, actually won a contest from one of the local Nashville news stations, where you had to like write in something they showed on screen every day. And I won like $500 or something in gift cards to a local Nashville toy store that
Nice.
just happened to sell video games. And so I bought so many obscure NES and Game Boy games at the time, like Bubble Ghost. I think I bought the Clash at Demon Head for NES there. Just games that I would not ask my parents to buy, you know. And I fell in love with Bubble Ghost, even though I was terrible at it. So I saw them remaking it. They've remade it. They've updated the graphics. They're okay. They've also added a story as to who the Bubble Ghost is and why he's doing what he's doing. It's kind of weird. It's kind of cringy, but the gameplay's still there. It's a lot of fun. You blow a bubble through stages with obstacles that you have to, and enemies that you have to get around, and you have to keep the bubble intact till you can pass through the area. And you also can't get too far away from it because it will pop if you get too far away. So there's challenge stages. There's 36 stages. The only thing I was really disappointed was I was hoping that the original game was in there somewhere, like as a setting, like you could play the original levels, and you can't. You cannot go back and do it. So if you like physics-based platforming, if you like, games that test your precision to speed run and different things. I mean, they even managed to like find a way to do boss fights in this game, which is pretty interesting. If that sounds like something for you, be sure to check out our first look and see what you think. And it's like I said, you can go download it right now on Switch. So real obscure game, but I thought, hey, why not? Bubble Ghost Remake is the name of it. That's what we've been playing. Let's turn on the community spotlight.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm downloading WWE 2K25.
Awesome. Oh,
So
and by the way, I forgot to mention this about Bubble Ghost. There's a demo on the Nintendo eShop, so you can check it
nice.
out and see if that's something that you would like.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't buy 2K24. I was close to doing it before because
Mm-hmm.
it looked like it was a really cool game, but I was like, I'm gonna wait till 2K25, and
Oh, come on.
you reminded me. So yeah, so I got it.
All
Just
right.
got it. All right, cool. Just like we do every week, we talk about our community, which is an awesome community. And whenever there's somebody in the community that has something awesome going on that they want to share, we highly recommend it, especially if you're in our Discord. Let us know what's going on and we'll share it here. Like this one with our executive producer, Jacqueline Amira, who is going to be at the upcoming show, April 6th, 2025, called the Charlie's Epic Con in Fort Myers, Florida. She'll be emceeing that show. It's going to be held at the Doubletree on Bell Tower Drive in Fort Myers. So if you live in the area or you want to go to something like that, please go check it out and say hi to her and say, hey, the Nintendo Dad sent you. You heard it there from us to go check it out. So, and say hi to Jacqueline. And then also too, we are got plans to go to PAX East up this year. It's in May. It's coming up real fast. We're really hoping Nintendo's going to be doing something there, but we really are also looking forward to meeting everybody who can make it to come out there too. So unfortunately, as much as we begged and pleaded Marty to come along, he can't do it. So just, you know, reasons,
So
but
no,
there are
no, no.
understandable
Look,
reasons.
I will be open about my reasons. All right.
Okay.
So here's the deal. Both of my kids are going to be seniors next year. All right. And so
Yep.
we are saving for a trip to Disneyland because they have asked to go. And we are going to actually have their senior pictures taken in the park while we were there using the photo pass system. But for us to get out there, it's going to be flights for four, lodging for four,
Oh yeah.
tickets
Oh
for
yeah.
four. And so I just want to be sure that we have enough funding for that.
Yeah.
And because it's kind of a big deal.
For sure.
And I would, as much as I want to go to, like, I really want to go to PAX, but we looked at it, and my wife and I were going to go, and it was going to cost us a large amount to be there.
It's expensive in
It
Boston.
is very expensive. The hotels are ridiculous, and guys, I just couldn't do it. I mean, that's full disclosure. No bull.
Yeah.
I want to be there, but
We
and
know
so what
how it
I'm
is,
hoping is,
Marty. The kids are more important than us.
yeah,
I
that's it. Well, they
understand.
are, but also I'm really hoping that somebody will like print out my face and put it on a stick and carry it around
Oh yeah, there we go.
while we're there that
I'm
week
gonna
and be
have the
like, I'm there in
T-shirt.
spirit.
I'm gonna have that T-shirt that I got where when we were in New York, and I'm pointing at the Nintendo store, and you're in the front.
Yes.
I will have that on.
I will
So,
be there in
because
spirit.
you're front and you're the first person up on that shirt,
Yeah.
so you'll be there. So,
I
but
didn't
yeah,
realize that was a shirt design. I guess I need to get that one.
yep, it is. I made it. I made it one. I had to.
Nice.
Uh, and it's funny because it looks like I'm pointing at the person whoever's wearing it at their face. Yeah, I'm just like right there. So yeah, we're going to PAX East. Again, is the beginning of May. My kids are going with me. It was too expensive for my whole family to go as well. But my daughter said she was going to pay her own way, which is awesome. Well, she paid half the room cost, so she didn't have to pay the full one. And then Sam's coming. My wife's going to be here with my mom while they're hanging out at home. So, and then Justin's going, Jesse's going, and a few people from the community have mentioned they're going to be there. So if you haven't mentioned it yet, hopefully you are and figured out a way to go. And who knows? I mean, just if you're in the Discord, we have a PAX East channel. You can say, hey, who's all going, and see if maybe you guys can split a room or split an Airbnb or something, help reduce some of the cost. So keep that in mind as well, because Jesse, you did that when you went to E3, didn't you? Didn't you work with some people to stay with some people, or did you stay on your own?
Yeah, no, I was with Roger and Will and
Yeah.
one other guy. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. Zach. It was no, not Zach, not our Zach, but a different Zach.
Okay. Yep. So there's ways of doing it. People have done it. So, in fact, we're crashing in Justin's room so my daughter can have her own room. So, me and Sammy are going to crash with Justin. So, all right. That's again PAX East at the beginning of May. And if you need any other details, feel free to reach out to us if you want some more information. All right, we got a few questions left. Some of them we brought up, some of them we didn't. One of the questions that I thought was really cool was Darth Platypus asks, what's one Nintendo collectible that you'd love to have in your collection?
It took me a while to think of an answer, but I did come up with one. Do you remember when Hyrule Warriors was released?
Yes.
The Nintendo Store had a giveaway, like I think the first 200 people could get one. It was basically a scarf, a Zelda scarf, like the ones Link wore in the game.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
It
about
was
that.
super rare in America, but in UK, like it came with every pre-order practically. So
Right. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry. It was Vic threw me off. He said and he's going and he's no offense, dudes, but I'm rooming him alone. I need my space, trust me.
Ah, I love it.
Yep.
Nintendo collectible. Gosh. So for me, I would really love to have those late Club Nintendo statues that they did right before it transitioned over to My Nintendo.
Mm, yeah.
Particularly the Luigi's Mansion one where it's him and Polterpup. I think they did that for Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. It was
Yes.
one of the last ones they did. They also did a Mario cast one with Bowser and Peach and Mario. I'd love to have those, knowing
looking
that
at
they
that one right
are
there, I have that one.
dang. I never kept up with my Nintendo points or coins or whatever back in the day, and I could have got it. But the other one was too is I never had a Super Scope 6. I had a friend who had one,
I
and
had
he
one
had
back in the
Yoshi's
day.
Safari, and I only got to play it one time. And that is like to me is the one that got away. I
Hmm.
never had Yoshi's Safari and the Super Scope.
Okay. You have a Super Nintendo?
Hmm?
Do you have a Super Nintendo now?
I don't.
Okay. I
I
know
would
you got
love
that
one.
Nintendo. I know you got that NES.
I would love a Super Nintendo now. But
Yeah.
actually what I would really like is a Super Famicom now.
Oh,
That's what
really?
I
Okay.
want that design.
Okay.
But I don't I don't now I know that Super Scope it was not great. The games weren't great. I don't need I'm not chasing that now.
Right, right.
But if I saw the Luigi and Polterpup statue for the right price, it would come home with me.
You have to keep an eye on that store if you still got any money left from there, the credits
That's
left there.
true, right?
That's something to keep an eye on. The thing that I would love to have that I had pre-ordered, but I had to stop because it's a lot of money for these things, and because I had to use the money for something else. Was the first four figures Samus suit statue. They're like anywhere from $160 to $250, depending on what you get, what version of it you get. Like the light up version, the full awesomeness of it. Samus lighting up, I think, is on the higher end of that price. They also have a helmet, a Samus helmet that I thought was really cool. They do really good looking statues, and it's something that I wish I could get my hands on. Maybe one day, get one of those statues, but they look like giant amiibos, essentially. Some of those amiibo figures, yeah, but they're really cool. So, awesome question. Thanks for that, Platypus. That's a good question. Uh, I think we answered Koopa Kid's question, right? And what Tamagotchi is,
Yep.
And what the game was, right? Did we explain the Tamagotchi games?
I don't know if we did. We talked about the egg thing, but that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So,
And then you
so
talked about the
Tom,
Tamagotchi meaning too. You
yes,
mentioned
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So Tomodachi Life is it's a friendship simulator, I guess. It's like Nintendo's almost like Nintendo's version of The Sims, but it's with really, really offbeat and bizarre humor. In the
Yes.
original Tomodachi Life game for 3DS, you basically had an apartment building that was at the center of an island, and you could make Mii's that you would then move into the apartment building that would interact with each other. They would come over to different apartments and interact together. They could even have relationships. And then there's a part of the game where you would take them to different parts of the island and they would do different things. Like they would put on a concert or they
Yeah.
would go on a quest or they would enjoy the theme park or something. And it was all done to with this very disconcerting robotic speech, like text to speech thing.
Right.
And
Which is funny in the video for the new game that's
yes,
coming out.
yeah. So it just was just off the walls. It was very um crazy Nintendo, like what you expect when Nintendo lets loose that craziness just a little bit. It's
All in
not
one
like Animal
game.
Crossing. You don't really have control over your character or anything like that. You would use the stylus to move them around or go to different parts of the island. You would play it for like 30 minutes a day and then put it away, right? And do all that you had to do on the
Get some
island and then
tasks out of the way. Yeah.
yeah, do some tasks, get out of the way. And so I would, if you're not familiar with the series, I would almost recommend you watch a YouTube video about it because that seeing it, it's easier to watch it than describe it.
Good point. Yep. And I think, yeah, if there's anybody who done playthroughs or some video of the 3DS one, definitely will help. Because there's a lot of people calling for this game. They were hoping to get, like a port or a remaster of it. But maybe they started down that road and were like, you know what, we're gonna make a whole new game out of it with more into it. So, all right, the next question. I think we got the one by Michael taken care of. David asks another question. Link has psychic powers with the Ultra Hand. Samus is going to have psychic powers. What Nintendo character will get this ability next? Tom Nook, Waluigi, maybe Captain Falcon, I'm guessing, or Toad.
Captain Toad,
Oh,
maybe
it's
Captain Toad.
Captain Toad. Yeah,
Yeah.
laughing out loud.
I mean, Mario also has mind control powers if you think about it with Cappy.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay, there you go.
So I don't know that it's a weird little focus on grabby powers, right? Like I don't know any other way to describe it.
I
Who
can't
would you
think of
want to
any good
have
answers.
any psychic powers? Just like Tom Nook, like you could see him reaching out with his psychic powers, and the wallet slips out of the back of your pocket. He's behind the corner,
Right.
pulling it in.
I
Uh,
I can't. I'm drawing a blank on this one.
I'm gonna say the Ring Fit workout person. The character has psychic abilities to lift weights. So
To make you work out.
or the Wii Sports or the Wii Balance Board lady
The Wii Fit
or
trainer.
Wii Fit trainer. They have psychic abilities to make you work out.
I like it. I like it.
Still drawing a blank, Jesse. Can't think of anything.
Yeah, I'm I'm empty on this one.
So
I am getting tired.
what's the Pikmin boss character's name again? What's the guy who's controlling the Pikmin or whatever?
Olimar.
Olimar. What if he had psychic powers to be able to
Then he wouldn't
do
have to
something?
throw them anymore. He can just
Right.
fling them.
He just fling him with his mind. There you go.
You have to get his head out of that bubble, right?
Right.
He's already got an antenna.
Right.
Yes,
So
that's
there you
true.
go.
But apparently oxygen is poison to him, so he can't take it off.
Yeah. That's a good question. That made us
Fair
think.
point.
That made us think a little bit. Maybe we'll think of something else. But
Yeah.
the last question actually came during our show in the chat, came from Gaming Dad. He might not be on anymore, but he was on earlier, and he asked, "Will Sony publish any more games on the Switch?"
Does a bear crap in the woods?
Oh yeah.
Yes. They like money.
They've talked about it before that they were looking at games to bring to the Switch.
Yeah, if it makes money for them, they'll do it. They may slow down once you know while Switch 2 sales are growing from zero again, but when it gets to 60, 80 million, they'll probably start thinking about it again with whatever newer games are out at that time.
They could do the funniest thing and bring Astrobot to the Switch.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. What if they bring
That
Astrobot over?
would be awesome.
I don't know
You
if
could-
Nintendo will go with that one. Just
Playing
because
Astrobot and it's all got all the property characters on there, IPs.
If the main game Astrobot is anything like the playroom was with PlayStation memorabilia all over the place.
Oh yeah,
Propaganda.
yeah. Well, you're flying on a PlayStation controller and all that kind of stuff.
You
So
can fly on a Joy-Con. They've got the grips have wings.
yep,
Sure. They just
the
change them
dog
all.
ear one. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
fly in it.
Actually,
Or the Pro controller.
Here's what I would love for them to do. You ready?
Yeah.
Here's what I would love for them to do. I would love for them to revive Sly Cooper on the Nintendo Switch too.
That'd be cool.
That would be definitely cool.
I'd like to see a new Sly Cooper game, just in general. I
Man.
tried playing the older
I keep
ones,
hoping.
but
I keep
they're
hoping.
they're clunky. For something
Yeah,
that's supposed to be fast and agile, it's a clunky game because it was made in the 2000s.
Hitboxes, even like when you're jumping between stuff, is very finicky.
Yeah.
That Ratchet and Clank game would be pretty cool too. The last one they came out with.
Rift Apart.
Yeah,
So good.
that would be a good one to come over.
Or Jack and Daxter on Switch.
Right? Really crazy? Bring out the God of War trilogy over.
With the
There you go.
announcement that Kratos is the new character in the next Smash.
Oh my gosh, jeez, oh Pete, that would be awesome.
Yep. Yeah. I would love it.
That's it. That's all the questions.
Yep, that's it. And that is it.
We'll
for
end on
episode
that.
521 of Nintendo Dads. Thanks for hanging out with us for this look at what could possibly be the very last Switch 1 focused Nintendo Direct. We want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon producers as we close out the show. That's Dave Ernsberger and Jacqueline Amira, as well as other 100+ patrons who keep the lights on over here at Nintendo Dads HQ. Again, special thanks to our over 20 Twitch subscribers, almost 1,500 Twitch followers, and we are so close. We're there to 8,000 YouTube subscribers. You could be the one to push us over if you're not subscribing to us.
That's only 2,000 away from 10,000 too.
That's right. That's right. Don't we get some like a wooden YouTube trophy or something when that happens?
I wish.
I don't know. You don't get the silver one until 100,000. We'll get there though. Anyway, thank you everybody. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. You can head over to our website. That's nintendodads.org for all of our family of podcasts and shows that we recommend, like Star Wars Dads, Mega Dads, Dad Crossing, and the Retro Logic and their family of podcasts. Our latest YouTube videos and tweets. Links to all our social media, Patreon, and Extra Life pages, and of course Nintendo Dads merch, like that sweet shirt of us hanging out outside of Nintendo HQ in New York. Don't forget to check out our sponsor for the show, manscaped.com. You'll get 20% off your order and free shipping with the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music we use throughout the show. And a reminder, wherever you download us or catch us in your podcast catcher of choice, please leave us a 5-star review if they allow that, and a comment. It helps push us up the charts and helps people find Nintendo Dads. We found out this week we're number 8 in the world. Number 8 in the world, baby. And you know what that means? There's only 7 in front of us. We're coming for that title, baby. You're coming up there, be the man. To be the man, you got to beat the man. If the 7 man's in front of us that we got to beat, it's about time to take them out. For me, for Tim, for Jesse, this has been episode 521. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Oh, yes. Oh, well done.